Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Don Arleth, and you're watching World News coming to you live from Warsaw. A Colombian man already serving an 8-year prison sentence in the Czech Republic has been charged with carrying out 2 arson attacks in Poland in 2024 on behalf of Russian intelligence, according to Poland's internal security agency.
In 2024, Poland was rocked by a wave of devastating fires that swept across the country. While initial investigations pointed to possible negligence or natural causes, whispers of foreign interference quickly gained traction. Russian involvement was long considered mere speculation, until now.
Today, the prosecutor's office released new information regarding charges brought against a Colombian national accused of acts of sabotage. Our security services confirmed that they were carried out under the direction of Russian intelligence services. We know that he had previously been instructed and trained by individuals associated with Russian intelligence services. They taught him how to prepare incendiary materials, Molotov cocktails. They taught him how to document these arson attacks.
The Colombian national has been charged with terrorism and faces 10 years to life in prison.
We know that he had previously been instructed and trained by individuals associated with Russian intelligence services. They taught him how to prepare incendiary materials, Molotov cocktails. They taught him how to document these arson attacks.
The first attack occurred in May last year in Warsaw, where a construction warehouse was set on fire. A week later, he targeted another warehouse in Radom, documenting the act and notifying Russian media. The media then spread disinformation, falsely claiming that a logistics center supplying Ukraine had been destroyed.
It's very well aligned with general reasons behind any hybrid attack. So it's the destabilization of the state and leveraging the potential distrust in the effectiveness of activities of both the law enforcement and intelligence services, as well as rescue services.
The Polish Prime Minister has confirmed that more than 30 individuals are now in custody, suspected of cooperating with Russian intelligence services. The detainees are believed to have been involved in acts of sabotage and physical assaults across the country.
Just over the past day, Russian forces have killed 22 people in Ukraine and wounded 85 others in attacks on 73 Ukrainian cities and villages. President Zelenskyy took to X to highlight his American counterpart's words on how the Russian leadership is, quote, wasting the world's time by talking about peace while simultaneously killing people.
Late yesterday, near midnight, Russian aircraft dropped bombs on the grounds of a correctional colony in the Zaporizhia region. It was a deliberate strike, intentional, not accidental. The Russians could not have been unaware that they were targeting civilians in that facility. Many were killed, and another 43 people were wounded, some of them with very severe injuries. And this was done after a completely clear position was voiced by the United States, a position supported by the world, that Russia must end this war and move to diplomacy.
Russia's largest airline, Aeroflot, is facing major disruptions for a second day after a cyber attack crippled its IT systems. A hacker group called Silent Crow has claimed responsibility, saying it spent a year infiltrating the airline's network before launching the attack. According to Russian state media, at least 53 flights were canceled at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport, affecting both domestic and international routes. The hackers, working with the Belarusian group Cyber Partisans, claim that they destroyed 7,000 servers and accessed 20 terabytes of data. They also allege that Aeroflot systems are outdated and poorly secured, including the CEO's password, which hadn't been changed since 2022. While Aeroflot says most flights have now resumed, delays and cancellations continue. The airline, already under heavy Western sanctions, has struggled with aircraft maintenance and access to spare parts since 2022. European rails and roads are not fit for war, says the EU's transport chief. To restructure Europe's transport infrastructure, the EU has proposed to invest 17 billion euros in the coming years. Investing in an army doesn't matter much if it can't move. In an interview with the Financial Times, the EU's transport commissioner said that rails and roads in Europe are not ready for armed conflict. The commissioner explained that current obstacles include both bureaucracy at border crossings and inadequate infrastructure, such as roads and bridges that are physically unable to carry a moving army. In the next EU budget for 2028 to 2034, the EU has proposed to increase the budget for military mobility tenfold, amounting to a total of 17 billion euros. The exact number will have to be negotiated with EU member states and the European Parliament. A man from Jashince in Kosovo was arrested in Serbia on charges of espionage for a foreign nation. According to Serbian authorities, the man was an associate of the Albanian intelligence service, for which he undertook activities directed against the Serb communities in Kosovo and Serbia.
Officials in Belgrade say the man was hired by the Albanian intelligence service through the Kosovo intelligence agency. He received money for his services, which also included collecting information on members of Serbian security services. According to prosecutors in Belgrade, the spy was gathering intelligence on influential figures of the Serb community in Kosovo and residences of Serbian state leadership. Moreover, the spy also collected information on the activities of Serbian politicians, as well as the Serbian Security Intelligence Agency and the Ministry of Interior and Army.
Wildfires raging in North Macedonia have prompted offers of aid from countries across Europe. Slovenia and France have proposed to provide the country with a total of 100 firefighters, special vehicles, and are also considering sending humanitarian aid.
According to the head of the Directorate for Protection and Rescue, the aid would come through the EU Civil Protection Mechanism. He said that the mechanism was activated a few days ago, but added that no one has planes available to send to help due to fires breaking out all over Europe. Nevertheless, Slovenia and France offered 50 firefighters each, along with special vehicles to help battle the flames. According to the head of the Directorate, the proposition is now under consideration by the North Macedonian authorities.
The Financial Times is reporting that President Donald Trump has raised tariffs on foreign goods to their highest level since before World War II. According to Yale University's Budget Lab, the effective U.S. tariff rate now stands at 17.3%, just shy of the 1935 peak of 17.5%. Nearly 45% of all U.S. imports are now subject to elevated tariffs, sparking concerns of a global trade shakeup. Despite market turbulence earlier this year, Trump has since struck limited deals with the EU, UK, Japan, and others, though many of these agreements remain vague or disputed. Notably, Mexico and Canada are under a separate tariff regime tied to border security and fentanyl trafficking. Markets have responded with cautious optimism. Stocks in the U.S., Europe, and Japan have hit record highs, but analysts warn that the relief may be short-lived. At a Polish government cabinet meeting on Tuesday, Prime Minister Donald Tusk took the opportunity to show off munitions intended to be used with Polish strike drones. He also announced that more new Polish defense systems and equipment will be presented to the public over the coming days.
These are dummy munitions, but I brought them here today to show off something we can all be proud of. These are just a few examples, but they should tell all of you here that we're serious about reprioritizing Polish interests in defense manufacturing. We're talking about Polish products. Tomorrow, I'll be visiting facilities where we will unveil bigger examples of this effort. Cutting-edge weapons systems manufactured entirely in Poland. This is of extreme importance. I want to emphasize it once again. This ordnance is likewise produced entirely by our domestic arms industry. Most of the components are manufactured using high-grade 3D printing technology. These warheads will be used by Polish drones, a whole range of them, produced entirely in Poland. We're not just talking about drones, but also other unmanned weapons platforms. Right now, we're also working on ground-based systems capable of being remotely operated, and we'll be presenting them to the public tomorrow.
Thailand has accused Cambodia of deliberately violating a ceasefire the two countries agreed to on Monday, Clashes between the two countries have already killed at least 38 and displaced hundreds of thousands. The border between Thailand and Cambodia remains tense, with thousands having fled after military skirmishes broke out between the two Southeast Asian countries. The two sides exchanged fire for 5 days until a ceasefire was agreed upon on Monday. A day later, however, the Thai military claims it stopped firing at midnight, but that it continued to receive gunfire from the Cambodian side at multiple locations up until this morning. Cambodia denies the allegations and claims the ceasefire has held so far. Border conflicts have been on and off since the beginning of the 20th century, when Cambodia was still a French colony. The most recent clashes flared up after Thai soldiers were wounded when one of them stepped on a landmine. And that concludes this edition of World News. We'll be back with an update at the top of the hour, so we'll see you then.